in time.
Tully was inspired to get into swimming by her older brother Luke. He'd joined a swimming club, was very keen, and she often spent hours and hours on poolside watching him train. And one day the coach approached her and said, well, rather than sit there, why don't you join in?
There I kind of realised like how free I was in the water. I didn't feel disabled and I was like treated as like everyone else was.
She loved it and she was determined to overcome any obstacles in her way.
So that's kind of where like my love for it came, and then I started racing and I just realised that that was the sport for me.
Tully's very passionate that everyone should have the ability or the opportunity to participate in sport, and I think that's where the frame running comes in. She believes that everyone should have the opportunity to feel what it's like to run.
So frame running is a 3-wheeled frame, a bit like a trike, but it doesn't have pedals, so it has a seat like a bike would have, and then a chest support. So the user leans on it and it takes all of their body weight, and it allows people who can't walk to run. One of my friends was a paracyclist and she'd been doing frame running for a few years, and she'd been trying to convince me to try it, but I wasn't interested. I was like, I'm a swimmer, like why do I want to know about athletics, like why do I want to be on a cold track? I had shoulder surgery and it meant I couldn't swim for 6 months, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot because I can't do anything and I want to be able to train. It's the first sport I've actually found that I can use my legs in, but it's the first time I've been able to run.
Huxley.
Go on. I think with frame running, the biggest thing is just getting the word out there more, because it's still such a new sport and so unknown, and there's so many kids that could benefit. Caitlin had a taste then, you loved it, didn't you?
Yeah. And now we can't stop you, can we, Caitlin?
It's very fast, aren't you?
How much do you enjoy training when you get to train with Tully?
I love it.
I work you hard, don't I? So I've got a few projects going through at the minute. The biggest one is trying to set up my own club in Loughborough, and then I have a 10-year plan. So through meeting Leo, I kind of realised that how many other kids out there in similar situations that can't get access to the sport and are being told they can't have walkers because they need to learn to sit first, when actually put them on a frame and they can run.
So how much do you enjoy frame running?
A lot.
That much?
I like going fast and racing my brother.
There's so many kids out there that I want to help. Like Leo and Caitlin, there's lots of sports that don't suit them, but frame running does. So it's more to get the word out there, to get people to be encouraged to go and try loads of sports and not be discouraged if that sport that they've tried isn't for them. I think it is really important that every kid has the opportunity to be active.
It's really hard to find any sport that you can do with a child with disabilities. So finding frame running has been really important for him, and he really enjoys it.
It helps to get me moving and makes me stronger.
There's not enough groups around. We have to travel quite far to go to anything, and there's just not enough. So the fact that she's creating one, she's going to provide frames and help the training is just absolutely amazing.
But I think it's really important because I think it's nice for them to see someone like themselves rather than having a coach who's able-bodied or who isn't an athlete. I think it's nice for them to actually have someone, and also like I can show them demos, can show them exactly what I want because I can get on my frame. So yeah, I think that makes a difference. Do you agree?
Yeah.
She sees beyond people's disabilities, and she sees the person, and I think that's a really brilliant quality that she has.
Sam said you're proud of that.
I am, yeah.
So the biggest thing is just work with the person with a disability. Don't just assume that they can't do it, because that really is a massive barrier. And obviously the other barrier is the cost of the sport equipment, which is where clubs come in and places like CP Sport. But yeah, then the biggest barrier sometimes is just people's attitude, so just be open-minded. Frame running unfortunately hasn't been included in the Paralympics. It was a sport made for people that were too disabled to do other sports.
What would you love to see for the future of frame running?
So over the next 10 years I want to branch out as much as possible to get as many kids on frames in the UK so that everyone has access and everyone can experience the freedom of running.